I'm thrilled to be able to chat with you about experiential learning. People have heard a lot about it in the marketplace, and I'm sure wonder, well, what exactly is that? And over the course of this series, I'm going to try to explain what it is and why it's so powerful. I think the key issue here is, in today's world, where we have the responsibility to make our workers better, what is the best way to do it? There are many techniques, but among them, one of the most powerful is experiential learning. So people say, well, what do you mean by experiential learning? I think the alternative to experiential learning is fundamentally what I would call show and tell, which is where the trainer is up in front of a class, typically with a lot of PowerPoints, and it's fundamentally speaking. And there may be some case studies and role plays in it, but it's fundamentally a show and tell versus a full-on experiential learning, which I'm going to try to explain to you. So think of experiential learning like this. You can put it on a graph. Where at this, we have low here, we have high up here. And the first thing about experiential learning is it is truly experiential and memorable. That is to say, it is something which I do as opposed to listen to. I'm fully engaged, I'm involved, I experience it. And the second thing is clearly there has to be learning involved. There is value to me for having gone through that experiential learning event. At this end of the spectrum, there are learning events such as build a campfire. So clearly it is an experience. I might do that with some of my colleagues, and I do something, and perhaps there is some learning. But it's at the low end of the spectrum. At the other hand here, you have something like, and I'll give you an example personally, I took a motorcycle racing course. Learning to race motorcycles. And I spent time with the instructor, who was a national champion, both explaining to me what to do, but then putting me on the motorcycle and allowing me to race around the track, coming off, coaching me, helping me to get a better idea, putting me back on the track, so I actually learned by doing, but with the coaching or debriefing or advice, the guidance of the expert in this case on the track. So here, clearly, you have very high value learning, and here relatively low value learning, here very high level of experiential engagement, and here low. And that, in a sense, is the power of experiential learning. On the next portion of this series, I'm going to give you the 3 benefits for this particular approach.